Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the Chinese drama The Princess Silver. I am not sure how many of you have watched this drama, but I pretty much just want to discuss this drama, so let's get into it. So, The Princess Silver is a historical Chinese drama. It stars Liu Yangxi as one of the male leads. It stars Zhang Zhu-ying as the female lead. It stars Arif Rahman as the male lead, and then it stars Jing Chao as the second male lead. This drama aired in 2019. It has 58 episodes and they each run 45 minutes. You can watch this show on Viki, you can watch it on YouTube, you can buy it on Apple TV as well, and depending on your region, you may also be able to watch it on Tencent Video. This is a drama that I thoroughly enjoyed, and so I want to get into it. So, the story is quite convoluted, but I'll go through it as slowly as I can. So, the female lead wakes up from a deep sleep, and she is told that she is a princess of Western Qi. She's told that her mother was a concubine, and that she grew up in the cold palace, um, and that she is this, kind of hidden away princess by her brother. When you first start the show, you get the feeling that Leo Youngqi's character, who is at first playing her brother in this show, has romantic feelings for her, but you kind of bury it away because you're not trying to think of any incest plot lines. So she's told this, and then she's also told by the Empress Dowager of Western Qi that, like, she has to go marry into this foreign kingdom to protect Western Qi because they're in danger of, being in famine and being invaded and all this stuff. And she doesn't really want to go at first because she's literally just woken up from a deep sleep and has just been told that she's a princess and she's kind of confused. But because the people, like the politicians, they come and they're like, I'd happily give my noble daughter away so that our kingdom can be protected, she decides she'll just go. She might as well. She's the princess. So she goes to this foreign kingdom, and the prince, who's the male lead that she's supposed to marry, is very rude. He's like, I don't want to marry her. I don't care. And she gives him like a timeline. She's like, hey, give me a chance. If you don't like me after a couple of months, I'll leave. So she stays in the kingdom. While she's there, since she doesn't just want to be, waiting around to potentially get married or get sent home, before she left, we find out that her brother gave her this like secret mission, and that's what she's doing whenever she's not focusing on like being the princess in this new foreign kingdom. And so the male lead ends up meeting her actual identity, like outside of the palace, not knowing that's the same princess that he rejected at first, and he ends up falling in love with her. The funny thing is about this male lead is that he has trauma from when he was young. His dad killed his mother, and so the emperor, his dad, the emperor of the foreign kingdom, killed his mother, and so he finds it difficult to get close to women because of his trauma at seeing his mother be killed by his father. But somehow he's able to get close to the female lead, and he falls in love with her. I'll get into all the complexities later on in the video. So they fall in love. She actually falls in love with the male lead too. She meets the second male lead in the early episodes as well. He is a general of this foreign kingdom, and he saves her. She's fighting some assassins, and he saves her. And he pretty much immediately falls in love because he's playing this, musical piece, and she can identify exactly how he's feeling, and he just thinks to himself like, this woman understands me like better than anybody ever could. So he falls in love with her pretty much right after that. And then I will tell you that her brother is in love with her, and he's not actually her brother. I'll tell you that now. Leon, she's character. So three men are in love with her at this point. The breaking point is that the male lead still thinks a princess is just this random princess. He doesn't know it's the person he's falling in love with. So her brother, with the general, organize her to get married to the general, and she gets really pissed at her brother because she's like, you're not letting me like have any freedom here. You're just doing whatever you want to. You're just controlling me. You're just whatever, right? And her brother's like, yada, 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 whatever. He has his reasons for doing what he's doing. I'll get into that later, but it's a whole mess. So she gets married to the general. And before she gets married to the general, she actually sleeps with the male lead. And then the Melody starts to kind of piece stuff together. And he's like, wait, I think the princess is the woman I'm in love with. So he jumps into the wedding, like he goes to the wedding at a ceremony, and he's like, hey, I just slept with her. And everyone's like, oh my lord. And the general's looking so embarrassed, right? And then he takes her away. He takes her away, and they stay in kind of the tomb palace of his mother. Basically, he takes her there, and he locks her there, and they talk about everything. They have a heart to heart. And she leaves by basically saying like, "Hey, like this ain't going nowhere, so let's just divorce it right here." She leaves. The general's waiting for her outside. The emperor's outside too, talking to his son like, "Why have you just steal his bride away? Like, what are you doing?" Everyone's emotions are super high. The general and the female lead do not have a good relationship. Like, she doesn't want anything to do with the general. She is in love with the male lead, but they also now have a really complicated relationship because he just embarrassed her in front of like everybody, and everybody knows that he took her away. Like, her reputation is kind of ruined. And during that time, obviously, it was really a girl's reputation was really important. So that's an issue. So after all of this, you realize the general is connected to the her brothers in quote marks mother, the Empress Dowager. So the general thinks that the Empress Dowager is his mother. Okay, so they've hatched this plan where they're gonna poison the female lead to try and kill the male lead because they know that he's in love with her. The general's name is Fu Chao, which means revenge, right? So there's this there's this underlying revenge story going on, which is why he's planning on doing this. But because he loves a female lead, he instead uses her sister, or what wants to use her sister as bait for it instead. I'm gonna explain something else so that I don't just keep talking and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so Fu Chao is not actually the Emperor Dowager's son, although he thinks so. So, you know when I said that the male lead watched his father kill his mother? Well, his father was given poison by the Empress Dowager, who is Liu Yangxi's character's mother, because she felt betrayed by him, and he hurt her quite a lot. So she wanted to hurt him back. So she poisoned him, and the poison ended up causing him to kill his beloved, who was the male lead's mother. The Empress Dowager and one of her eunuchs ended up forming this assassins league where they took all these children of really important people in the kingdom and raised them to be assassins. Um, Female lead is a part of this. Her sister is a part of this. She lost her memory at the beginning of the show, so she doesn't actually remember that her sister's her sister for a while. But they're related, and the sister is in love with Chao, and they grew up together. The sisters were separated, so they were both in assassin leagues owned by the Empress Dowager, but like in two different locations. So when Fu Chao wanted to use the sister as bait, like he knew they were related, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't care about you, but I care about her." The sister finds out about this after she sleeps with him because she's in love with him, and she pretends to be her sister by putting on a mask that actually looks exactly like her sister. It's giving Princess Young vibes. And sleeps with him, and then swaps herself with Rongla, who's the female lead. Rongla ends up being tortured. So Charles like, how come you're here and it's not her? The whole thing's a mess. The male lead comes there. She's writhing in pain. The male lead ends up nearly dying. She nearly dies. She wakes up and she begs for Charles. She's like, if you don't fix this, I'm gonna mess up with you. And now, the whole reason the show is called Princess Silver is because after this incident, her hair turned silver from like the drugs they gave her and like just the torture of watching somebody you love like literally die. So Fuchao saves the male lead, and then the male and female lead go to this different kingdom and are basically going to try and rebuild the kingdom that Fu Chao and the Empress Dowager end up stealing. Either way, Liu Yangqi's character knew this whole thing was happening, but he didn't really have any control because he felt sympathy for his mother because he understands her revenge story, while also trying to protect Rong Le. So he doesn't really have a lot of power in the situation, and at least I felt sympathy for his character. Um, hmm, yeah. So after all of this happens and they go to this new kingdom, a number of things happen politically with so many other different characters and side characters and stuff like that. And by the time we get to the end, um, a lot of people die. Like Fu Chao dies after finding out that he's actually the twin brother of the male lead, and he didn't remember that. He was taken away as a baby, so he did not know that he was the twin brother of the male lead. And he dies to protect the child that he has with the sister of the female lead because they have a baby girl. Oh my lord. And then the emperor dies because he gets like drugged up by the Empress Dowager after she rules the kingdom for a while, so he dies too. And then female and Melody rule the kingdom. Before that happens as well, Liang Qi's character sacrifices his life to protect the female lead because she gets pregnant and then is given a drug that endangers her life, so she nearly dies. So he literally gives his life's blood so that she can live. And then she remembers everything that he's done for her because while she was pregnant, he was protecting her. Because there was like a war going on, and she stays away for like 5 years to just kind of think about everything that's happened while her kid is growing up with the dad, like in the kingdom, because now they own the kingdom. And she comes back. The baby girl, who's her niece, is with her son, and they have this school together. And the last scene is them being Empress and Empress Dowager. But I mean, I love this genre, but like it genuinely, like just explaining it, like it's genuinely like the most convoluted drama I've ever watched. That doesn't mean that it's messy or anything. Like I think it's very well executed because it's very easy to make something like this, you know, ridiculous, but it's very well done. Like it's very well done. I loved the costuming, I loved the OST, I loved the acting. I've rewatched it like multiple times. I don't think people talk about this drama enough. I would definitely argue that it's underrated. It's definitely a story. Like there's so much that I haven't even mentioned because it's more like the side characters. That's like a whole other thing. I mean, if you watched it, like let me know how you feel about this drama in the comments below. If you haven't, what little you've heard of it, does it interest you? I'm curious because I really like this drama. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Thanks so much for listening. Bye bye.